Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the new Pampered Pretties collection. This collection is coming out on Friday on the 12th. Right now they're not labeled at the bottom, but I will tell you the colors as we go on. There are 8 colors in this collection. And I will be using my Dipped in Chaos to help me swatch a little bit, but I'm also going to use cupcake liners as well. So for the first one is going to be An Angel Got Her Wings, and this is like a pearly kind of color. At first I thought it was going to be more of an off-white color, but actually it's more cream to me. I don't know if it's because I'm using a cream swatch stick, but I did do the color twice, and it ended up being like one of those like creamy pearl colors, and it's actually really pretty. I actually really like it. If you guys were wondering what liquids I was using, so the liquids that I use for my swatches, I tend to just like rotate through the ones that I have. Right now I'm using Revel's base, then I'm going to be using Double Dips activator, and I will be using a gel topper, like to top all my swatches. I do have some liquids that we just got from Pampered Pretties. The only thing is they don't have a release date yet. But I have been trying them out, and I will be using them for my next mani, so just keep an eye out for that. Alright, so this is how she looks like unactivated. Like I said, it's like one of those creamy kind of pearly colors. So right here, I just wanted to show you guys how I use my Dipped in Chaos and how I put the powder back into the jar. I do use my brush to also help me put the powder back into the jar and kind of give it a good swipe. Every once in a while, I do put them in my dishwasher to clean them completely out though. Alright, next up is Jingle Ball Rock. And I wanted to show you guys how it looks like in the jar because it has a whole bunch of like different type of glitter pieces in it. Some of the new Pampered Pretty colors in this collection, it does have some like snowflakes, as you can tell right there. They are pretty big, so sometimes when you have chunky glitters or like chunky shaped inside within the dip, it needs a little bit more love. So I'm actually going to show you guys a little trick that I like just learned, and like some of my like nail friends, we just decided to try it out to see if it works. I'm going to go ahead and show you actually how to flatten those out before you actually finish with the entire mani. Okay, so I know that the swatch looks kind of busy right now, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take our like pointed tweezers, the ones that are like really pointy in the front. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just remove the glitters that I feel like are too much or I don't need it, and like kind of move the other ones where I feel it would look best. I'm also gonna go ahead and add that extra snowflake towards the bottom of the swatch just because I feel like it needs it right there. I did get kind of irritated that the snowflake at the top kind of got covered by the rest of the glitter, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and add the other snowflake, and it's actually gonna go ahead and pull the look together. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch, and then I'll pop back in a little bit. Okay, now that we added our snowflake, what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna go ahead and dab activator on top of that snowflake. Then once we have it in place, we're gonna go ahead and use our tweezers and kind of push it down into the nail. I actually do also do this. That sounds weird. Do this when I have my manis, like when I have big chunky glitters or big shaped glitters. You wanna go ahead and dab a little bit of activator on the corners and then use either your finger or some tweezers to kind of push that down. Actually going to use this technique again later on in the video, but for now let's go ahead and move on to the next color. Alright, next up is Jack Frost Jubilee, and this one also has those big chunkier flakes, but they're like more iridescent kind of color. So this time I decided to use a cupcake liner just to see if the glitters would lay better. Okay, so this time what I decided to do, I actually just decided to use the dip base around that one flake that's already on the nail. And then what I'm going to do later is I'm actually going to go ahead and just place the other snowflake down towards the bottom of the swatch. Okay, so before we add the other snowflake, this one was actually sticking up on the side. So what I did is I added a little bit of the activator, and then I used my tweezer to kind of just like press it down into the nail. Okay, so now that we have the snowflake in place, we're gonna go ahead and dab on some activator. I did put this closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm over here just gonna go ahead and do it with my tweezers, but you can use your nail, you can use a baggie, a sandwich bag, whatever you use to press down glitters, go ahead and do that. And then I just made sure that all the corners of the snowflake was completely flat. All right, you guys, next up is Deck the Halls, and this one has gold flakes within it. And I think this one is actually really glamorous. It's like, because it has all of like those Christmas colors as well as like, I don't know, silvers and golds and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just really like this one. So I actually decided to put it in my Dipped in Chaos because I wanted to see how the swatch would do, rather like versus in a cupcake liner. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and start with my first layer. Okay, now this one is actually pretty pigmented. I probably didn't need to go in with the second layer, but I always do 2 layers with my swatches. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the second layer. Now you guys, when you're working with flakes, you wanna make sure that the dip absorbs all of the dip base before you start going in with like your dusting brush, because the flakes are really, I wanna say sensitive, but they're just really delicate. So if you do it too much, you actually just lose the effect of it being a flake. So just be careful when you're doing that. Make sure that all of your dip base is absorbed before you go and dust off the flakes. All right, next is Winter Wonderland, and I like this one because the base of it has like white kind of glitters in it. It reminds me of how when the snow first lays on the ground and it glistens in the sun, that's what that white base reminds me of. It is so pretty, you guys. All right, so right here, I actually decided to do in the cupcake liner because I wanted to see the difference between how the flakes would adhere to my swatch. So I'm actually experimenting with you guys while I'm actually swatching also, so you know, bear with me. All right, you guys, this is how she looks like on the swatch, and I love all the blues with the white and silvers. It just matched so well together. All right, next up is Sleigh Bells, and this is a classic gold. This one is actually one of those like micro glitter ones. So it's really easy to work with. If you guys are new to dipping and want to like work with the glitter but are intimidated about the chunkier ones, this one is definitely one of those good alternatives to start with. It laid beautifully on the swatch. Like I said, it was really easy to work with, and it's actually really pigmented within 2 dips. Next up is Oh Holy Night, and this one actually has stars, moons, and snowflakes in it. Also, the base of it is red and green, so classic Christmas colors. So the snowflakes in this dip were a little bit easier to work with because they're a little bit smaller than the other two that I showed you earlier. The only thing is, I would still recommend you doing that activator trick if you're having a little bit of trouble with the chunkier glitters. I would still probably do the activator trick as well with this when I actually use it on my hand, like for a mani. So yeah, just don't get frustrated. Try the activator trick. Alright, so this one actually doesn't have a name yet, you guys. Pampered Pretties on their Facebook group, they're actually having a giveaway. And if you help name her, you actually get to win a free jar. So this one has red, green, and gold flakes in it. It also has little, like, that pearly shimmers in it as well. Now, the giveaway, you guys, actually ends on the 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go head over there, help her name her. Maybe you'll get a chance to win a free jar. This one also does get released on the 12th with all the rest of the collection. Now, I don't think I mentioned a time frame, but it is going to be Friday the 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern time for the release date. Alright, you guys, so here's the whole collection in my swatch holder. They are not activated yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, you guys, I am going to go ahead and file and buff these off camera just a little bit. They don't need that much filing, to be honest. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'm going to go ahead and start with the gel top coat. And then we're going to go ahead and go over the colors one more time. Alright, so you guys, here is all the colors from left to right, and they're the golden names. Now, the last one, again, it is to be determined. Hopefully, we'll find her out fairly soon. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you later, you guys. Bye!